So in Chapter 7, we start talking about, or continue talking about investments. And everybody likes to talk about investments, especially when the stock market is doing well. And they're excited that they make all this money, but then when you tell them what they owe in taxes, they don't understand. Because oftentimes people will not have money taken out for their federal and state withholding. And so I actually pulled up and I just Googled a sample of a consolidated Form 1099. So you'll have clients walk in with tax papers and they'll have absolutely no idea what it is. And so some of them are thick, some of them are thin. This one, though, this is a pretty good example of what you might see. And I'm definitely not going to read through all this, but I wanted to show you. So this is something that you might see on a 1099 DIV. So the company would send this, like Edward Jones, Wells Fargo, would send this to the owner of the stock, and they would see that they got total ordinary dividends. They had qualified dividends, which is taxed differently. They've got capital gain distributions. Is it long term? Is it short term? They've got unrecaptured Section 1250 gains, non-dividend distributions. They did have some federal income tax withheld. They did have some investment expenses. Foreign tax paid, talk about that a lot later. Exempt interest and private activity bond interest dividends. So this one's got a little bit of everything. If you have good software, you'll be putting that in just the way it says to put it in. But no matter how good your software is, you have to be able to make sure that it was input correctly and that it is being taxed correctly, and then you will need to be able to explain that to your client. And so then I wanted to kind of show you on the gains and losses, if I can get to it pretty quickly, some of the things you might see. And this one is a lot of money. Typically you don't see this, but there's what we looked at earlier. And then down here we see summary of proceeds, gains and losses, adjustments, and withholdings. You can also see there's some royalty up here. We have royalty income and other income. Lots of information up here, but look at this. This says short-term gain. We've got proceeds, we've got basis, and then we have a net gain or loss. This one has a loss of $782,000. So big short-term loss. We've got a long-term gain, a little bit compared to the loss. And then if you notice down here, we've got some federal income tax withheld. So all those pieces of information are important in helping us to calculate someone's tax liability appropriately, along with all of the information in Chapter 7. So as you read through Chapter 7, just imagine, not only understanding this, knowing how it goes in the software, but then being able to explain this to your clients and help them understand the way that it is taxed. So enjoy Chapter 7.